Last winter I wanted to make a set of pine drawers for the fishing room to sort out all the tackle I have in there. I had a visitor help me get started on the project. Alain, also known as the woodpecker, also known as le gosse de bois. If you haven't heard of him before, check out the link in the description below. You're in for a treat. Years ago I got these nice pine logs which I had sawn into cants, because at the time I didn't know what I'd be making with them. So Alain and I had to cut them to size and then mill them into boards. You know what? I've seen you do it He-Man style so many times, I'll finish up that way. And we just peeled boards off the cant one by one, taking a cut from either side of the cant. Eventually you whittle the cant down to nothing. So we had a big stack of boards to plane down the thickness, and then joint one edge. And then rip to the widths we needed. We had to glue up two panels that would become the raised panel sides to our case. Then Alain and I clamped them both up. While the glue dried on those, we had the rails and stiles to cut the length. I don't yet have a proper miter station, so I improvised a stop on my drill press table. So when I bought my dad's router table, it came with a whole bunch of really cool, fancy router bits. These were two of them, and they're fancy panel cutting bits. You see how they nest together like that, and the resulting panels that you make with them also mate together cleanly like that. You begin by using one bit to route the end of your stiles. And then you use the other bit to route the edge of your rails. It's just cool how the same slot that accepts your raised panel also accepts your rails. By now the glue is dry on the panels, so we started sanding the glue off. 2 sanders goes more quickly. Then we had to cut our panels to width, and then cut them to length. At the time I had just built this cross-cut sled, so I was eager to use it. I was able to cut both panels at the same time. Here's the bit that I used to give the raised panel its molded effect. The way you use it is to make a series of ever deeper cuts, so you're not taking a big bite out of it all at once. Alain explained to me how you always start on the end grain with your cuts. I actually have to correct myself here. You don't raise the bit up, you push the fence back with each successive cut. That way your cutter is always at the same height. And the last cuts we make are with a rabbiting bit, and they are to thin down the edges of our panel to the correct dimensions.
You're in business.
Look at that. Ha! On the first panel I had a small knot. I just had to marvel at how clear this pine is on this panel. Well, this is how far Alain was able to take me into the build. He and Renee had to head back to Quebec, leaving me to finish building the drawers on my own, but I appreciate his help making my first raised panels.